I'd like to call the City of Elkhorn Plan Commission Thursday, June 1st, 6 o'clock meeting to order. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Watke,
Here.
Hunter, Stocko,
Here.
Boardman,
Here.
Geeslin,
Here.
Meinel,
Here.
Lechner.
Here. Next, we have approved the minutes of April 4th, 2023. Everybody had those in their packet?
Move they be approved as written and dispersed.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion or changes that you've seen in the minutes? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passed for the minutes of April 4th, 2023. First on the agenda tonight, we have Anthony A. Coletta, applicant, New Beginnings, APFV Incorporated, owner, 20 North Church, tax key YOP 00136 and YUNW 00186. And it's for a zoning text amendment. And I'll let Allison go over what you came up with and what you recommend to the commission.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. So tonight we're back to discuss the New Beginnings zoning text amendment petition that we discussed and held a public hearing for last month's Plan Commission meeting. After extensive review of the application that was submitted, along with our current ordinances and our 2040 land use plan, staff ultimately recommends that the request to amend the zoning code be denied, and for the following reasons, which are listed in my staff report, but I'll go over here briefly. As I stated, allowing a ground level dwelling unit or apartment on the first floor as a conditional use in conjunction with a business or other type of use will ultimately result in a degradation of the intentions of the mixed use district. So we don't want to eventually see the land use become more residential than what it's intended for, which is a mixed use. So over time, we would not want to see that the T1 transition district ultimately turn into more residential than that commercial mixed use. Allowing ground level dwelling units or apartments on the first floor as a conditional use in conjunction with a business or other type of use is ultimately inconsistent with the intentions of our City of Elkhorn 2040 comprehensive plan as a community mixed use. And then we find that amending the text of the code to allow those ground level dwelling units as a conditional use in conjunction with a business or type of non-residential use will harm the intentions of that T1 district that I talked about earlier. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Commission members, any questions for Allison?
No.
Any questions for our attorney? Commission members, anybody? Nothing? Okay.
I move that the request by New Beginnings at 20 North Church Street be denied based on the items 1, 2, and 3 that our zoning officer Allison just discussed.
I'll second that.
So the motion and a second is to deny with the staff recommendations, and this is a motion to move on to council to be either approved or denied
Correct.
at council, correct?
Correct.
And you're good with the second, Rick?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Watke,
Yes.
Hunter, Stocko,
Yes.
Boardman,
Yes.
Geeslin,
Yes.
Meinel,
Yes.
Lechner.
Yes. So this will go on to the council, and that'll be the second meeting in June, so I think it's maybe around the 15th or so. So next, we have Daniel and Deborah. Well, I'll wait for our city attorney to come. Thank you, Elaine.
Switch here.
Yep, switch.
Put the big switch on.
Okay, have a good evening.
Yep, thank you very much.
Again, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks.
You. Next, we have Daniel and Deborah Machete, hopefully I pronounced that right, okay. Applicant, N5802 Highway 12, tax key YA172600002. This is for a rezone. I'm gonna let you guys give your little presentation, then I'll open it for public hearing, and then we'll close, and then we can talk after that, okay? Yeah, if you can go to either the desk or either one that's got the microphone, just so, yep, just so we can hear and it's on record. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Debbie Machete, and thank you, Elkhorn Planning Commission, for allowing us to come tonight. We are here tonight requesting the back portion of our parcel to be rezoned from B6 to M1. Before we go into the details of our request, let us provide some context to how we got here. In previous communication with the city staff over multiple years, the impression was always given to us that development of additional mini storage was allowed throughout all the zoning changes. Additionally, appraisers, as well as potential buyers and their engineers, have done their own analysis, always concluding that additional mini storage would be allowed under current zoning. These reasons, combined with the fact that we have had storage approved and developed on the property for 35 years, have historically led us to have no doubt that additional mini storage would be an acceptable use. A few weeks ago, we received a call from Joe Doherty saying he was just at zoning and was told that mini storage could not be built. We then visited the zoning office to review development plans for additional mini storage from our potential buyer. To our surprise, we were informed that this development would not be approved under the current zoning. For this reason, we are here today to present our request for zoning change and to achieve clarity for the path forward. So moving on to our request and our supporting reasons. We currently have an offer to purchase on our property, contingent on the buyer being able to develop the back portion with more storage units. The buyer is a Walworth County developer who has excellent ideas to move this property forward, offering great opportunities for the city of Elkhorn. Our property was purchased by us 35 years ago when it was part of the town of Lafayette. We built 2 storage buildings and we offer 28 units. During the TIF, zoning codes were changed. As potential buyers contact us if we would ever sell the property, the interest has been in mini storage in the back. We always knew the front of the property would need to be developed into a bigger project to provide for the city. We were able to improve the land with a private road, and then when annexed to the city, we got the laterals for water and sewer. On page 24 of the meeting packet, the city has provided the Elkhorn zoning ordinance purpose and intent. We believe the development of mini warehouses is consistent with this purpose and intent and is negligible or no impact to the 12 items listed under the intent. Furthermore, allowing for this rezoning would provide numerous benefits for the city of Elkhorn, and it serves the needs of residents and businesses. It's supportive of the key land use goal of the City of Elkhorn 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Some of these benefits include the demand for mini storage is high. Most often, we have no units available. This is a service that the people of Elkhorn want, and the current supply typically cannot fill the demand. Currently, we have 5 local business owners who rent for storage of business inventory and supplies. Many warehouses are complementary for small business, manufacturing, and residential uses, providing benefits for various demographics of the community. Traffic is very light at a mini storage. This provides for low impact. Environmental impact of mini storage is very low. And the future development of the property will increase the tax base, supporting the greater good of the community. Also, the new buildings will be landscaped and built better than the current buildings. Our goal is to promote comfort, health, safety, prosperity, and welfare of our city, Elkhorn. And this proposal remains consistent with this. Dan has owned 2 businesses, and I have taught at both the middle school and Tibbetts Elementary. And after retiring, I had the opportunity to serve on the Matheson Library Board. Our interested buyer, Joe Doherty, unfortunately contacted COVID over the weekend, and he got a positive diagnosis today. He was planning on talking a bit more. He said he would have a site plan ready to present to the city if building mini storage units is allowed. He plans on using track building systems located out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. That's the company that he is working with. So he will not be speaking tonight, but we have asked our attorney, Eric Olson, to provide a few comments to you, and we would be very happy to answer any questions that we can for you. Thank you.
Do you want to have Eric talk now during your presentation? That way, then I'll open the public hearing after that,
Okay.
okay?
Well, good evening, everybody. My GPS actually took me over to the little school over there, and I was looking at it, and I said, I can't believe they meet in the preschool here in Elkhorn. And
We did for years.
you did? Oh, okay, all right, okay. But anyway, when anytime that I understand that anytime a change like this is requested, it throws a little bit of a fly in the ointment of what is being anticipated in terms of obviously what the plan was, and it requires a little bit of potentially rethinking. I do think one thing that perhaps might mitigate any concerns that anybody might have would be to consider the possibility that the front area could still be used in conformity with what the plan had been, and there's plenty of area in the back there where these types of storage units might be made. And as the population, maybe as the population changes or the population ages, I practice property rights law, and it takes me all over our great state, and it's just unbelievable the thirst that there appears to be for mini storage facilities. So many of them are very nice looking and well run, and I'm sure that the buyer in this case, one way of doing it would be with a zoning change. Another might be some sort of an overlay that I think that the zoning code might allow, and I'm sure that whatever conditions would be put on that to ensure that it was a sightly and well-maintained facility that would be a real asset to the community would be welcomed from the standpoint of the buyer, and also from of course, from the standpoint of my clients, who are the sellers, whose sale is, of course, contingent on working something out. So my understanding is that the buyer is looking to put in about a number of units that would be consistent. I don't know if he's proposed an exact number of units to this body.
I think he was suggesting. See, that liquor store is there now. It's not there in that picture.
Right, and okay, so that is a fair number of units, but there's also a fairly decent chunk of land in the back there that could be improved with these units, and then that would leave the frontage for a different type of use. And I would also point out that the reason that I originally came into contact with Mr. and Mrs. Machete, and how this whole thing started, was that we were in
some litigation with the We Energies company about the pipeline that now runs under the roadway there that is being indicated with the cursor there. And the problem that we face to a degree is that however it ultimately gets developed, that developer will have to enter into, will have to have language, will have to have an agreement with We Energies that the developer is comfortable with and that We Energies is comfortable with. Because there's now a large high-pressure natural gas pipeline right under that roadway there and then heading east and west, obviously. So the quandary that my clients are really facing is that if there isn't a specific purchaser, if there isn't a specific developer in mind, it's very hard to craft an agreement, to craft verbiage with We Energies that we can say, okay, we're sure that this is going to satisfy whatever particular eventual buyer comes in, and also that We Energies can sign off on. So We Energies wants to work something out. Everybody wants to work something out. But our concern is that to really work something out that works for my clients who are ready to exit this property, they're at a phase of their life that they're ready to move on, let someone else do something with it. What we would hate to have happen is come up with an agreement, have that verbiage, because We Energies has said up and down that they're willing to allow a Class A road to be built there, but there are going to have to be probably some special precautions taken to make sure that safety is ensured. We would hate to reach some sort of an agreement and then and then market the property, because then a prospective purchaser might say, well, if only this had been worded a little bit differently, it could have met our needs. But because of how it's worded, they would need to go back and try to renegotiate things with We Energies. We Energies, I wouldn't fault them at all, even 1 minute, for saying, look, we've already been through this with you. We agreed on language, and that's what we intend to stick with, because a deal's a deal eventually, and we'll maybe work with them, but we're not going to change anything anymore. So that's what we're going through right now. Is we've found a buyer who wants these approvals. We're working with We Energies to get the language, but we have to get all the puzzle pieces to come together simultaneously. And we're very, very optimistic about working something out with We Energies. Of course, it also is contingent on getting the approvals from ultimately to do the project, or the preliminary approvals at any rate to do the project that the buyer would need. So that's all I really have to add to this, but thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you. So now I'll open the public hearing. Is anybody here for the public hearing for the rezone at N5802 Highway 12? I'll ask a second time. Is anybody here for the public hearing? And I'll ask a third time. Anybody here for the public hearing? I now declare the public hearing closed for N5802 Highway 12, the rezone, tax key YA172600002. So next I'll refer to Allison, and you can kind of let the commission know.
Sure, thank you. So on the map, you'll see here, we have pulled up the zoning map in front of you. You'll notice that the front portion of the parcel is zoned B2 and the back portion is currently zoned B6 in that purple. You will notice that they're requesting a rezone from B6 to M1, so that purple will change to that light gray. M1 is one of the only districts that currently allows mini warehousing units, storage units, as a conditional use. So if this rezone were to go through tonight, that then means that anyone who wants to further develop that would need to come and apply for a conditional use permit to have those mini warehouses. However, you will also notice as you look at the map in front of you that there is no M1 as far as you can see in this vicinity. Years ago, this area was annexed into the city of Elkhorn, and storage units were built on it. And now, over time, the City of Elkhorn Comprehensive Plan has been amended. It has been updated, and so has our zoning. So it has been zoned B6 for quite some time now, and in the B6 zoning district, storage units are essentially a non-conforming use. So here in the city, we definitely don't want to expand a non-conforming use, which is why they're requesting the rezone to M1. However, tonight I am recommending denial of that rezone due to the fact that it is not consistent with our 2040 comprehensive land use plan, and it would be spot zoning. It would be the only M1 zoning district within that entire section of the city of Elkhorn.
Okay, thank you, Allison. Commission members, any questions towards Allison, towards the applicant, or for our city attorney?
So if that stays at B6, they cannot build any, expand on storage,
That is correct, yes.
not even with the conditional use, right?
Correct. They can keep what they have for as long as they would like, but they would never be able to expand that nonconformity.
At one time, was that whole partial B2?
I am unsure. I know the zoning has changed quite a bit over the years. And as you all know, this is right near where the new liquor store is being constructed as well.
I make a motion to deny the rezone with the reasons given by Allison.
Staff recommendations?
Yes, the staff recommendation.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Watke,
Yes.
Hunter, Stocko,
Yes.
Boardman,
Yes.
Geestlin,
Yes.
Meinel,
Yes.
Lechner.
Yes. Motion denied for the rezone. Next, we have general discussion items. Any updates, Allison?
I just wanted to update you that I have gone through all of our project files dated back to 2020. And I have compiled a spreadsheet of all of the projects that are either expired now and that will need to come back to Plan Commission or are about to expire so that I can start sending out those notices as a warning that they're coming, they're nearing their expiration date. So there's one notice that needs to go out soon, and that would be for the St. Patrick's addition there. They were going to tear that building down and then expand. They're coming up on their warning letter. And then one expiration notice went out to Dunkin' Donuts. They are fully expired now, so they will need to come back to the Plan Commission. Other than that, every other project since 2020 has been fully completed.
Good.
Thank you. Just to go back to the denial, it'll go to council on June 19th for the council to do the final vote. So June 19th at 5:30, council will be looking at that for, if you guys are more than welcome to come and see what goes on there, and if they have any questions for you. You can.
There's something that I may say. We had a appraiser who looked over this, and I have it here. If you want me to bring it up, I can.
No, that's, I mean, we can't do nothing right now. I mean, I'll let you speak though, just because,
But he said that the current zoning is, well, I should probably read it, or let my wife read it, she can see better.
His statement in the appraisal was, after careful review of the City of Elkhorn zoning ordinance, we have determined that the subject property is legally conforming to its zoning designation.
I guess that would be something that you would have to work out with Allison. I mean, if you guys, you're more than welcome to set up a meeting and talk to Allison about it, because she would be the one to, I don't know all the legalities on that, but you guys are more than welcome to set that up, and then, you're always more than welcome to bring back and come again if we have to, but like I said, this will go to council on the 19th, though. I just wanted you guys to be aware of where it goes next.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Do we have a June 15th meeting? No. Well, it looks like July 6th then, if we do have some stuff on, maybe. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second for adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.